Kevin, do you want to do the quadrantals in degrees or radians? Do you want to tell me
no, this is degrees. Okay.
degrees?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That one's 0. That one's 90. That one's 180. That one's 270. And that one's 260.
Thank you. And radians. Charlotte? Oh, I like that. You wrote 0 pi over 2. Yep. Or 4 pi over 2, right? Now, I left my fractions not simplified. So if you're struggling with even just knowing the radians, here's a quick way of counting them. 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 pi over 2. Okay? Thank you, Charlotte. Jaime, we learned that the distance, if they don't give us an order pair, what's the distance? One unit, and that's why they call it the unit circle. So, for example, the order pair here is going to be what, class? 1, 0. Or if we go over to 3 pi over 2. Class, what's the order pair here? 0, negative 1. Right? Your x-coordinate is 0, your y-coordinate is negative 1, and your r value is going to be what? It's always going to be positive, right? Alright, so let's go ahead and simplify that number 5. 1/4 times 3 pi over 2. So I go down here to 3 pi over 2. Sine is y over r. Yes? So I can use negative 1 over 1. And class, negative 1 over 1 is just negative 1. Now, if I didn't show you the shortcut or the observation, then here it is. If the radius is always going to be 1, then I don't really need to divide by 1, do I? 3 divided by 1 is 3. Negative 6 divided by 1 is just negative 6. So you don't really need to divide by 1, which means that the y-coordinate, or sine, is just y over r, or the sine represents the second part of the order pair. And cosine represents the first part of the order pair. How does this save us some time? Sine at 3 pi over 2 is negative 1. Let's try that for the second problem, or second part. Minus cosecant at 270. Put your finger at cosecant at 270, or 270. Class, cosecant is which letters? R over y. So what's 1 divided by negative 1? Negative 1. Or the trick is, here is sine, and you just take the reciprocal of that. So if it's negative 1 over 1, you just flip it. Well, it's still negative 1. Let's simplify that. 1/4 times negative 1 is negative 1/4. Opposite of a negative is a positive. I can't add the fractions because they don't have common denominators, so I'm going to have to multiply this one by 2. So I have negative 1/4 plus 2 over 4. And negative 1 plus 2 is 1 over 4. So all of that simplifies just to be 1/4. So right there, I'm just helping you guys practice your quadrantal angles. Multi-step problem. And that's your answer.